Auburn's passing game must pop off for Saturday to be successful against Alabama A&M.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zach Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Happy Charlie Tuesday to all who celebrate. We're joined by Kyle Rush, also known as the message board legend Charlie 5.
Gets me every time.
Over at thebarnauburn.com. Also, you can check out the Top Button podcast over there. We're going to talk about, we each have three different things as far as how you can measure success this Saturday as Auburn takes on Alabama A&M. And our first one both pertains to the passing game. And they're different because, to be clear, I don't think yours is going to happen. And we'll get to yours in a second. But I want to see 5 players have multiple catches on Saturday. And that includes everybody. That includes running backs. That includes tight ends. And then obviously wide receivers. I want to see them spread the ball around, and I think there's a chance that this number could be even higher depending on how many times they do throw the ball. I don't think they're going to throw it a ton, which kind of makes me think, okay, we'll see how they handle this game on Saturday. But to me, I want to see multiple guys or 5 guys have multiple catches on Saturday.
Who is your most ideal 5? Like of those?
That's a good question.
What's your most ideal 5 to have multiple catches?
All right, so we'll go with the starters for sure. So I'll go with Robert Lewis, KLS, and Cam Coleman.
For sure.
Rivaldo.
Yes, that's 4. Who's the 5th?
Perry.
Okay. I think I would trade Robert Lewis with Malcolm Simmons because I think his 2 catches are going to be for 100 yards if he has
but there's no way Robert Lewis doesn't have 2 catches on Saturday, right?
He's the safety net. I mean, that's what he's been. That's what his nickname has sort of become, is the safety net. When things kind of break down, Payton looks for Robert Lewis. So I think he may end up leading in receptions for the week. But I think that's a good one.
I actually think he leads in receptions for the season. And yards. I mean, I think Robert Lewis is going to be. I think it's going to be him for sure. Maybe not touchdowns, but I think yards and receptions. I do think so.
I would trade the number 5 for 3 if Rivaldo could have like 10 catches. So if Rivaldo has 10 catches, I'll sacrifice 2 other guys.
Well,
catches.
And also, we don't know what the approach is, and this will be a part of it when you say what your first one is in a second. But part of me wants to think, okay, they're going to do some fanfare stuff. Like they're going to get Cam Coleman involved early. They're going to they're going to try to get Perry a touchdown situation when they're on like the 10-yard line going in. They're going to try to, get Malcolm and Bryce involved. Part of me wants to think that, but also I could see Hugh Freeze just wanting to go in there and let's just get the game over with. We're going to score a lot of points. They're not going to be able to stop the running game. We'll see what happens there. So to me, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to handle it, but the fan in me wants them to get all of these freshmen involved as well as KLS and Robert Lewis. It's like, look at our new receivers. It's going to be great. But I don't see them doing that.
I hear you. My number 1 is a little bit different. It's the same concept in passing, but I want to see combined, okay? Not just necessarily one player. I want to see combined 300 yards passing. And I will differ from you just a little bit. Yeah. I think Hugh has to throw the ball. I think he needs to be able to go out there and sling the ball around. You got Deuce Knight in the stands. You're trying to go ahead and close that one out. It's an easy opponent that you can really fine-tune. Look, we can run the ball. Last year, you had no issue running the ball. That was what frustrated me about Gus Malzahn's offense, is because you'd play teams like this and you'd have 350 rushing yards and not work on anything in the passing game, and that frustrated the you-know-what out of me. I want to see – I don't care if Payton has, a little over 200 and then you split over 100 yards over the next 2 or 3 guys, however many get to play. But I think you got to throw it down the field. And I don't think you have to show a lot to be able to throw that. I don't think you have to expose a lot of the playbook.
Show it all. show it all. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh yeah, let's keep it vanilla because you got to worry about Cal the following week and Arkansas in a month and Oklahoma. I was like, I don't think you need, like, who cares? Who cares?
To that point, I love, this is kind of a sidebar, but I love that Hugh mentioned in the press conference that you could see Samuel Jackson and the Wildcat just to be a total, you know what, to every coach out there.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff
15
you do.
minutes on this now, please, and thank you.
Yeah, you do stuff like that in these games. So then at least the coaches have to prepare for a little bit of that. But no, I think you want to throw it down the field. This offense is predicated off getting one-on-one matchups. You got to get guys opportunities to make plays, and I think you need it. I think this is a good game. You need to be able to throw the ball down the field. I think anything less than 300 yards, I would be just maybe not anything less, but I mean, if it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 or less, I'm going to be like, what the heck are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we saw them do it against Samford. Was it Samford? Yeah, Samford last year when Payton had that really impressive performance. But to me, I don't know. I want to see it. I want to see them go out there and just throw the ball all around the yard, and it's just a blast. And it's like, yes, the passing game is fixed. Also, selfishly, like, it gets you closer to that 3,000-yard passing season that we've kind of set as a fan base. It's like, we want this so bad. It helps you get to that point too. And confidence is a factor in all of this too. I mean, let's don't kid ourselves. You want to be able to have a confident quarterback in Payton Thorne, which is what we've heard and seen all throughout fall camp, that he's this more confident and present quarterback in the room leading this offense. Can that be part of it? Sure. I mean, I'm with you. I would love for Auburn to just go out there and torch them. I don't know why. I don't feel like they're going to. I feel like they're going to be able to move the ball, and I think they're going to spread it out, and I think they're going to throw it, 20 times. That's kind of why I want to see it spread out to, 5 receivers getting multiple catches in this game to kind of set the tone for the season. But, both of these things can be true at once, right? Like, they can have multiple guys have these really impressive games and obviously throw for that much. I think the balance is going to be there.
I think it is irresponsible not to throw it 30 times in a game like this. That's why I think, I don't know. I think Hugh has
well, I'm sorry to cut you. Let me ask you this then. So based off of this presser that we heard on Monday, it seems like from an evaluation standpoint, the most important bit of information from a personnel standpoint that they're going to try to learn is the left side of the offensive line.
1,000%.
With Dylan Wade and Percy Lewis and Tyler Johnson and apparently Braden Joyner, which I'm here for. I think that's awesome. Yeah. So what helps you learn that? Is it passing it 30 times so you can see pass rush sets and reps on film? Or is it, hey, do these guys know who they're supposed to block in running situations? And you can probably say both. But to me, it's like, I think sounds like a lot of this is folks not knowing necessarily who they're supposed to block. And a lot of that screams more in the running game than the passing game.
Well, if you could have done one thing a little bit better against Alabama or Georgia on offense, what would it have been, and what results could it have yielded?
Oh, if Auburn's passing game's a little bit better than a year ago, yeah, you win 2 or 3 more games. Sure.
Exactly. That's why I just think these type of games, I think you have to be able to put the ball up, put it in the end, throw touchdowns. Man, let's throw some touchdowns instead of just getting to the 1-2 and then just pounding it up the gut. I think that's something that Hugh's out to prove, that we can throw the football around. Especially, hey, if you want to go into 2025 and you think you're a quarterback away, if you're not 100% comfortable with Hank and you want something to sell to somebody, hey, you just had Payton Thorne come in and throw for 1,700 yards after he threw for nearly 3,000 yards 2 times in a row. I think you might have a little bit of sense of urgency to be able to throw the ball down the field. And this seems to be the perfect opener to be able to do that, because a hapless Alabama A&M, you should be able to dart it up and down the field. I just think you got to do it. And I'm going to be a little bit disappointed if it's not somewhere close to those combined numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I want them to throw it. I'm just predicting that they won't right now. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm with you though. And look, it kind of feels like Q Freeze is a little bit on that, like, okay, y'all are all doubting us. Here we go. Like, let's just torch it. we'll see. I mean, we haven't seen that in Auburn before, and so that'd be really fun to bring that here. And we'll see. Yeah, Saturday could be certainly a part of it. But so yours, your first one is combined passing for over 300 yards, minus 5 players have multiple catches. So let's move to the rushing attack. What makes that successful on Saturday? Kyle's got another benchmark number to share. That's coming up right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at 5 Hour Energy. Kyle, can you imagine being tired and just not doing anything about it?
I don't. I love energy. And I
love energy. And
I love it for sustained at least 5 hours.
I think 5 hours is the appropriate amount of time to get some extra energy. I don't think there's any question about it. What if I told you it came in a nice little container and it tasted delicious?
You're just checking a lot of boxes there, sir.
No doubt. No doubt. With 0 sugar and a convenient portable size, it's the perfect pick-me-up for getting stuff done. The 5 Hour Energy website has flavors galore, like watermelon. React to watermelon just real quick. Just give me a yeah, there we go. Tropical burst. Grape. Berry.
Yummy.
Yeah, okay, let's stop doing that. On the site, you can even have the option to build your own 12-pack or 24-pack. So if you go to energy. Stop talking. So if you go to 5hourenergy.com, that's the number 5hourenergy.com, and you can get some 5 Hour Energy product today. And you can use our promo code LOCKEDONCFB. The offer is only valid until September 30th. Go to 5hourenergy.com today. All right, as we go through what makes Saturday successful.
That was all on you, by the way. That was your fault.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You've got a bit. So you set the benchmark for passing at 300. You also set another mark for rushing that would make it successful.
I think 200 yards. That's combined 500 yards of offense. I think that's what you need to have, and I think you got the backs to be able to do it. And I tell you what, I don't necessarily think you need to have a 300+ yard rushing outing, but you need to start kind of showing you can run the ball a little bit. The last 2 public scrimmages that you've had have been pretty putrid from the running game. I know last year you had a ton of success. I think you need to show, if you're the new play caller, you're the new offense, hey, are we still able to run the ball? And you got some good guys that you need to feed. You got you got a preseason all SEC running back. I think you need to feed him and get him, at least to that 100-yard plateau, and then see what happens with the other backs.
Right. Yeah. No question. No question. Yeah. To me, 200 seems low. I mean, I think I would probably set that at 250. And I'm thinking Auburn's going to run it more than pass it, which we're kind of in a disagreement there, which once again, I hope you're right. I just don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. So to me, like if Auburn only rushes for 200, that would seem a little lackluster, but there's a caveat to that. Like, let's see if they light it up and do choose to pass it. You don't need to do it then. To me, it's like if they want to rush for 300, they will. If they want to pass for 300, they will. It just depends on how they want to approach this and what's best for the team moving forward. That's going to be what that internal discussion is all about. So we'll see. Mine's pretty tame. My second one is no one gets hurt. I mean, Auburn has been, knock on wood, Auburn has been remarkably lucky so far, especially with some of the news and some of the injuries that's happened throughout the conference. And it almost seems like some of them kind of spooked Freeze a little bit, where he like brought it up and like shivered almost at a press conference a few weeks ago about some of the running backs.
That Texas running back shook him. That left an impression on him. I think that affected the whole second scrimmage. I think it changed the way that second scrimmage was going to run because of that.
Yeah, and then Texas lost another running back shortly after that. I mean, they're in a rough, like, that's brutal. And they're in a spot where it's like it's playoff or bust. I mean, that's brutal. And so Auburn's been great. You know, yesterday he talked about the 2 guys that are kind of questionable, with Austin Keys at linebacker, and then KeAndre Scott at corner. Folks on the medical staff said probable. He said he wanted to see a little bit more before he felt comfortable. I don't know why you would play either of them if it's even in question. I don't know why you would play either of them on Saturday, but that'll obviously be made by guys who know a lot more about the situation than we do. But yeah, just keep everybody healthy. You're going to have, you're going to be banged up and bruised because it's football. These other grown men trying to hit you every single play. But if you can stay healthy, to me, I think that's going to be huge.
For sure. And like everybody at this point in time probably has little bitty nagging injuries and things like that. So that's why you want to get in there and handle business early so you can get some of those young guys in that you've been hearing so much about. Got to protect your lineup. I'm with you. I feel like Austin Keys is going to be fine, but it's like, why risk it?
It's not worth it. Yeah.
He's your number one guy. He's your number one guy right beside Eugene Asante. Even though you have some guys you love the way they're coming on, with Robert Woodyard being physical, DeMarcus Riddick putting him all over the field. But hey, Keys missed almost a whole year last year, banged up. Like we need this guy. You brought him in the portal to be able to play. He's familiar with this DJ Durkin system. You need him healthy. So I think if it was anybody else, if it's Cal game one, I think Austin Keys plays. And I think he honestly,
you don't need him, would
be fine. I just don't think you want to risk it. I'm with you. And then obviously,
and also, I mean, you mentioned it, but like Dorian Mayusi, Fanaje Gote, both, this will be their first game as Auburn Tigers. Like, give them reps. That's fine. You mentioned Woodyard, DeMarcus Riddick, DJ Barber. Give all of those guys reps. Like, I don't think Keys needs the reps against Alabama A&M. I just don't. I don't see the benefit of it. And same with Keontae Scott, man. I mean, we got so many young corners that we've heard good things about. Let's get JC Hart as many reps as possible on Saturday. Let's see if he can handle being a number 3 or number 4 corner, depending on how the pecking order falls out. Antonio Kite is a guy who you love his talent when he transferred from Alabama. We've heard mixed reviews about him. Sounds like inconsistency has been a thing for him. Give him game reps. Put some reps on tape. I think that is way more crucial than letting Austin Keys or Keontae Scott play on Saturday.
The only difference is I think Keontae Scott needs to play because of the whole stigma of the outside corner, and is he an outside corner?
But he doesn't fix that on Saturday if he shuts down Alabama A&M. It doesn't change any of that.
He doesn't fix it, but I think it could go a long way into building his confidence, because you got to think what he's rebounding off of. He's rebounding off of the bowl game where he got torched. And he's been adamant that he's sticking at outside corner. I think he needs to get some game reps where he can at least start building a rhythm, building confidence. I think he needs it way more than Austin Keys needs it. Austin Keys sort of kind of proved himself already, whereas Keontae Scott's changing complete positions. And it's a big difference between nickel and outside corner. It's a completely different. You're on an island by yourself. Like you're one false move, you don't have a linebacker on the inside. Sometimes you don't even have a safety over the top. You're not surrounded by guys that you can kind of push dudes forward. It's just one-on-one out on an island, and he's not really had a whole lot of time to have that kind of success yet. I think it's a little bit – he doesn't necessarily have to play the whole game, but I think he needs to at least play to begin the game and get some actually live reps.
That's a reasonable thing. Keontae Scott, though, when you talk about confidence, I don't think the guy's lacking confidence. So
no, for sure.
If you want him to get the reps at outside corner, I'm cool with it. But for confidence,
don't let him return a punt. Don't let him return a punt, though.
I'm with you there.
We got plenty of guys, even though I think he's an electric.
I don't want KLS returning a punt either. I want Malcolm and Bryce Kane returning punts.
Or Perry. Hey, he's even taking some reps back there. But I'm with you.
Yeah, he wasn't listed yesterday when Freese listed his top 4 guys, and then he said Will Upton. Cool. Let Will Upton catch punts on Saturday. That's awesome.
I love a fair catch.
I love it. Yeah, good. Great. All right, so our second one is you've got combined rushing of over 200 yards on Saturday, and of course mine was no one gets hurt. We both went in different directions for our third thing that would make Saturday a success. We jump into what those are in just a moment right here on Locked On Auburn. Kyle, can you imagine doing anything on your phone other than playing ultimate college football head coach?
That sounds so amazing. It sounds awesome. I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about how much you love recruiting. I mean, you get to do that. You get to jump into the shoes of the head coach of whatever program you want, and in this amazing game and simulation, you get to build your program to glory, what would be your number one recruiting pitch in an ultimate college football head coach if you just had to rock with one?
Me, bags, dropping bags. Let's go. Is NIL in there? I'm in. Let's go.
Sure. Ultimate College Football Head Coach. It's completely free and has no ads. It is 100% playable offline, and you can play on the go as you want and when you want to. And of course, we have a special offer for Locked On Auburn listeners. Use the promo code LOCKEDONCFB, all caps, no spaces, Locked On CFB, inside the game store to receive a free boost to your program. Maybe
that's
that
how you
boost
get the bags.
That's dropping bags. That's the Kyle Rush special there. To download the game, you can go to their website, ultimate-cfb.com, or you can look it up on your phone's app store. Ultimate College Football Head Coach. All right, Kyle, when you look at what else makes Saturday's performance successful, I don't want to see any turnovers.
Okay. Clean game.
I want to see, obviously no interceptions, because I do think Payton threw a pick against Samford. Yeah, I was in the end zone. Because we've kind of compared that game to what we saw last year. So yeah, to me, take care of the football, both in the passing game, and then obviously no fumbles from the running backs or the receivers. I think that's going to be crucial.
That's an easy one. Payton has a reputation last year of giving the ball away. I think he threw double-digit interceptions, a couple of them for pick sixes in the bowl game against Vanderbilt. Maybe even did he throw a pick six against Arkansas? There was another really bad interception against someone that was not necessarily incredibly costly, but could have been very costly. So I think he needs to play a clean game. I think his understanding, it seems like, of the offense is going to help him in this actual scenario. But I'm with you, Payton. You got to protect the ball. That's been sort of a bugaboo. That's been something that people have put a label on you. So go out and protect the ball, be able to distribute it, but not make dumb mistakes and turn it over. Yeah,
I mean, and also think about where we were a year ago. I mean, it wasn't the opener, but with Cal, like when Auburn went to Cal a year ago. I mean, it was
play
just
of the game.
Yes, it's like, let's see how many times we can fumble and still barely win the game. I mean, that's really what it felt like. Even with Jarquez late in the game, it's like, what is going on? So I want to see a more polished offense in general, and that has to do with taking care of the football. I've heard, nothing but great things about the execution and how things look so much more crisp than a year ago. It's one of the big differences from now between now and last year. And so, take care of the football. No turnovers on Saturday would be extremely.
Hold on to the daggum ball.
Let's go. Come on.
Don't put it on the ground. Let's go.
Yeah, running backs, receivers, y'all work so hard to get the ball in your hands. Hold on to it.
Run through that little cone thing where, they got the cones on both sides. Let's do that all week.
That's all you've got to do is run through the cone thing.
Run through the cone thing hard.
You've got to figure it out. I love that. What's your third one? What's your third thing on your list that would make I can tell you if you don't remember.
I got it. I think I got it.
Okay, great.
I want to see the quarterback. I want to see the opposing quarterback's jersey get dirty. I want to see his butt on the ground at least three plus times, sacks from the defensive line. And I'll tell you what, I want to see it from that front four. I want to see DJ Durkin I want to see that D line put their money where their mouth is. And actually put the quarterback on the ground, be able to rush without having to send extra guys. I want to see J-Mac. Hey, J-Mac, are you legit? Are you the guy that we think you are? You're healthy going into this year. Let's go be a menace. Kieron Crawford, I want to see you bench press some poor offensive tackle 10 yards into the back. I want you to set him in the quarterback's lap. I want you to dominate, and I want to see Philip Bleedy be the disruptor that we're hearing that he's able to be. I want to see 3+ sacks out of this defensive line, and something that I feel like we haven't been able to do consistently over the past several years without having to manufacture pressure. I want to see a front four that's nasty. I want to see a front four getting after it, being disruptive, and getting that quarterback's jersey there. I want to see him have to pull grass out of his face mask at least one point in time in the game. I want to see it getting stuck up in there and you got to pull the grass out. And maybe a substitution, maybe some guy saying, hey, get me out, coach. I don't want the ball no more. They're killing me. I want to see this defensive line getting after it. Tell me that didn't fire you up.
I'm a little fired up right now.
Tell me
we got to wait till Saturday?
Yeah, let's go right now. Put the pads on.
All right, so you asked me this question on my first one. You asked me what my ideal 5 players with multiple receptions would be. Let's say, okay, you said 3+, so let's say 4 sacks. What is your ideal balance if Auburn gets 4 sacks on Saturday?
I want 1 out of J-Mac. I want 1 out of Crawford. I want 1 from another defensive lineman, interior defensive lineman, whether it be Keldrick Falk or Bleedy, or hey, even big Isaiah Rikes or Jason Jones. I want 1 other from there, and then I want to see a freshman. I want to see a new guy. I want to see DeMarcus Riddick. Even though that's kind of going against what I'm saying, that will be some type of a blitz, but that's what they've been saying they're using him for. Or like Jamonta Waller or Amaris, Joe Phillips. One of those guys. They've been talking
Jalen Crawford off of a corner blitz, baby. Let's go.
Something. I want to see that'll be the 4th. That'll be the plus. Let me have a freshman sack lunch. That'd be the plus.
When you're going on your little pregame speech there, like you didn't mention Keldrick, which I think is part of this. So it's just like
light the fire, baby.
Yeah. McLeod and Crawford are getting all this love, and it's like, Keldrick's coming.
Hey, Keldrick. Light the fire, baby. Light the fire, and let's get after it.
Yeah. All right. I feel like those were good lists. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I'm hoping this game's fun. I hope we can handle business and put it away early.
How many quarterback touchdowns? Let me ask that again. I'm so sorry. Quarterback touchdowns not from Payton Thorne. What do you anticipate that looking like?
Passing, I think Walker may run one in if he gets a chance. And then maybe one.
You think Walker plays on Saturday? You think they play 4 quarterbacks on Saturday?
I think so. Wow. He's only got 4 games to be able to get it in. I think this is one that we're going to handle business. He's going to be able to get it in. So I'd like to see him punch one in running. And then I think Hank's at least going to throw one. He'll get the most time. So I'll say one.
If Hank gets in, he's going to throw a 50-yard bomb. Like, that's just who he is.
There's no chance that ball is not sailing on the first or second snap. It could be like a play action to the tight end in the flat, like to kind of get him in rhythm. Zip. We're going deep.
Yeah, if there's another pattern where he's just going deep and it's like the 3rd option of the plays, he's slinging that thing.
Oh, wait, I can check at the line. I can check the play at the line. Okay, here we go. 4 verts. Let's go. Let's go. You know he is itching. He is going deep. And Malcolm Simmons is going to be on the receiving end. I know Hank and Malcolm are connecting at some point in time.
All right. Yeah, my take is Hank will have the longest
play from scrimmage.
Yeah.
I
don't know who's catching it. I'm fine with Malcolm. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, I think Hank has the longest play from scrimmage on Saturday. So
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it because that sucker's going vertical. You better get ready. You better drop 3 because he's going vertical.
Nukes, my guy. Straight nukes from the baby goat.
He may let 3 rip on the first drive and just go right back to the bench. He is going vertical, and I love it.
Yep, that's right. All right, Kyle, what's going on at thebarnauburn.com right now?
Man, you know what? What's not going on at the barn? We've got practice updates. We got recruiting updates every single day, as well as team scoops. Zach's dropping team scoops in there that just blow your mind. And you can do it all for $1 for the first month. www.thebarnauburn.com. It's $9.95 a month after your first month. Great value, a lot of fun. And then the conversation, like we got a thread in there that's like a running list of Friday night high school football stats. Like you got a running list of that.
Yeah.
You got Taylor Korn, who is giving you every single possibility of where we could finish in the recruiting rankings with the class calculator off 247. You got all kinds of stuff, and that's where you catch it at thebarnauburn.com, or you can catch me every single day at the Top Button Podcast. On the Top Button Podcast.
Yeah, which is at the Barn YouTube page. I do a show with Brad Law on there as well called Village Vice. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe to the Barn on YouTube as well. Please like the video. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn.